Uh, man, it's a beautiful day out. Just don't really know what to do. 2 weeks of holiday, busy with TAFE and settling in, and checking in on my mental health. Haven't had time to make TikToks or any YouTube videos. I mean, followers would probably be disappointed. What followers? You don't do anything significant. Yeah, I heard that, Doc. But, you know, You know what? I want to get back into making YouTube videos, but what am I going to do first? I know. How about you do a top 10 about things you like? It's been a while since you did one of those, and you've never done one of those formally. You're right, Robin. That's why I'm totally going to do this thing. I totally didn't improvise with actual real people. Well, canonically, you're my imaginary friend, and prop comes to life, so... Yeah, I haven't seen that before in a review show. Don't try me. Don't fucking try me. Hey everyone. So today, I wanted to talk fuck. Hey everyone. Today I wasn't really sure what to make a video for, but I decided to make a nice change of pace. I'd start with a few top 10s of things I like and my opinions. And to start off, I'd like to thank my friend John the Fusa King for recommending me going with top 10s first. So, and if you want to see his stuff, he's a really funny guy and I really recommend it. I'll leave his channel in the link below. Oh, and speaking of channel in the link below, my friend Connor, the 1920s and 30s guy, who's also a very talented magician and very nice guy who I think you should support, I'll leave his channel in the link below too. And I'm going to mention both of my friends because, on one hand, hey John, I'm doing a top 10. Hey, on the other hand, sorry John, it's about Doctor Who. Ooh. And something I want to talk about today, brief history. So as we all know, because we weren't born under a goddamn stone, pretty much Doctor Who was funded by the BBC and went from 1963 to a whopping 1989, with a huge fan base and about 7 Doctors. And noticeably, when it went on hiatus in the summer of 1990, there were many attempts to bring the show back, from a failed TV movie starring Paul McGann, to a failed Nirvana cartoon that a lot of people haven't heard about, to a bunch of random sketches and such. And one of the most prominent things before the revival in 2005 was Big Finish audio dramas, founded by Nicholas Briggs, the voice of the Daleks and Cybermen himself. Big Finish have done a bunch of audio dramas based on different franchises and original stories. And most notably, they've done Doctor Who in a way that is nothing more and nothing less than legendary. Now, a lot of Whovians haven't actually heard of these, whether you be a fan of the classic era or the revival, or even the reboot. As of this video, I haven't watched the reboot yet, but hopes are high. So please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. But essentially, what you need to know, they took Doctors 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and gave them respective audio drama stories, which eventually evolved into other Doctors, other stories, other franchises. Look at my freaking hands, they're so huge in front of the camera. But what I'm mainly going to focus on is the first 50 on the Ranger. Now, I know that there's a lot more than 50. They've been going for about almost 25 years now, and that's still very impressive. And they were sort of canon till they weren't, till they were again. But pretty much essentially, it took classic Doctors and gave them more depth. Peter Davison, for all those classic fans of 80s Doctor Who, got more stories, for those who think his time was cut short. For Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor, arguably the most hated in the classic era, he was pretty much retconned to have more character, more development, more compassion, and more stories, becoming a fan favorite. Sylvester McCoy got a continuation for his fans, and a bit more darker territory for his haters, and Paul McGann, has gone his own era. Despite at the time there were the Doctor Who novels, but they were very hard to find, and of course I couldn't find them for the sake of this video, and there's like a lot of story to cover, and a lot of, lore, but I can only do so much. But pretty much it gave him an era and a fan base. So today I'm thinking of talking about my top 10 favorites, because I've been listening to these recently, and I've been re-listening to these. I've been thinking about doing a ranking video, but I might do that for some other time. But for the meantime, because of how much I really love these audio dramas, and how I think this could appeal to a lot of fans, new and old, whether you're just introduced to Doctor Who, or if you love Doctor Who but didn't know about these audio dramas, then I feel like this is the video for you. And because I love it so much, here's my top 15 favorite Doctor Who audio dramas. Number 15. Land of the Dead. The fifth Doctor and Nyssa end up in a museum in Alaska during the 90s, where primordial energy monsters are rising once again. Originally, when I started listening to these audio dramas for the sake of my ranking, it was a bit hard because the timeline was kind of all over the place, but pretty much I mapped it starting from this story. And with that said, I'm really glad that I started with this one. It was really spooky, had a nice really atmosphere, pretty fun side characters, plus a good heavy emphasis on American indigenous lore, which I'm always vibing for. I mean, I'm Australian, but I'm still really open and excited for indigenous culture in modern media. Granted, this was from the year 2000, but I really enjoyed this one. It's really spooky, it's intense, characters are great, and the action's great, some pretty good scares, some pretty good cliffhangers. It's overall a very underrated story that I really recommend you have a listen to. Number 14. The One Doctor. The Sixth Doctor and Mel end up in the Generia system, which is already saved by the Doctor. Next thing you know, they team up with an alien conman and his girlfriend to save the galaxy from an unknown force. What overall makes this story work is that it's the ultimate comedic satire of sci-fi and of Doctor Who. It's the best self-parody yet. And there have been a lot of bad self-parodies. I mean, have you even seen Dimensions in Time? If you haven't, that means you have a soul, thank God. But essentially, this story is full of comedic characters, funny punchlines, great fourth wall jokes, and it's just a fun time. So I couldn't say no to it. I just really enjoyed it. Oh, and fun highlight, though I didn't get to listen to it properly, at the end, there's like this funny little moment where the Sixth Doctor and Mel have like a fun little Christmas. It's really adorable. Plus it helps end the season. And, come on, that Jello, it's really tugged our hearts, didn't it? Number 13. The Marian Conspiracy. The Sixth Doctor meets Dr. Evelyn Smythe, who's being erased from history, so they go back in time to the Cheerio era to solve this mystery. No, there is a bit of timey-wimey stuff, just a little bit, which is the main focus of the story. It's really nice to listen to a nice solid historical. I mean, nowadays when Doctor Who does historicals, they usually just meet a historical figure and there's an alien. But it's nice to just be a part of history. That's how it originally started out, and it's nice to have that variety. All the characters are great, the plot and the theme of overall choosing what's right and what's wrong in terms of what you believe in, what you stand for, how history could have been, how it should have been, that sort of thing. And it's just really strong. And obviously a highlight is the late and still great Maggie Stables, who absolutely kills it as Evelyn Smythe. And this is probably my favorite companion introduction story. Because, I mean, like, she's a no-nonsense lady, she's a resilient companion, she knows her history, and while she's not always aware of alien stuff, she always stands by the Doctor in a very wholesome and believable and powerful friendship. She's literally just my grandma, and I love my grandma. I love your grandma too! What the fuck's that supposed to mean, Robin? Number 12. Cold It's. The 7th Doctor and Ace end up in Colditz Castle, the most secure prison in all of Germany, especially during World War II, where they must find escape and to solve the mystery of an incoming time paradox. About 4 years before he became the Doctor, David Tennant actually stars in it as Kurtz, and he's one of my favorite actors because, like many, he's one of those actors who in real life are soft, sweet teddy bear, but are really good at just playing the most dastardly sleazebags. And like what I said with the Marian conspiracy, essentially, though it has a bit of time travel stuff, it's really good to have a nice solid historical. The vibe is very tense, and you actually feel like you're there in the moment. And that ending really hits me hard. So, don't even go that far though. Overall, this one's pretty cool. Number 11. The Rapture. After the events of Colditz, Doctor takes Ace to a club known as the Rapture, presumably owned by the angels Gabriel and Jude themselves. Because of the amount of adult themes, it kind of feels like an episode of Torchwood, but before Torchwood. And all the disco themes sort of gives it that sort of uppy vibe. Plus the emotional moments actually warm my heart. It's very adorable and very endearing. It adds more to Ace's character, and it adds more complex characters and complex villains. It's really nice to get a sort of story with like multiple layers. So, I really recommend you give this one a listen. Number 10. Winter for the Adept. The 5th Doctor and Nyssa end up in a boarding school for girls, where presumably a poltergeist is haunting the school, as presumably one of the students has psychic powers. In many ways, this story kind of feels like a sequel to Land of the Dead, not only because it's set straight after, but also because it has this sort of similar sort of feel to it. Similar characters and similar sort of setting. But it's its own thing, and I ultimately respect it. I love the twists, and India Fisher in her first ever audio drama for Big Finish, Doctor Who, at least before she played Shirley Pollard, is really fun in this. I really don't want to spoil any more, but it's nice, spooky, and really powerful. So I really recommend you listen to this one too. And also, once again, Peter Davison is actually really gold and earned my respect as one of my favorite Doctors. Though beforehand, I haven't really watched that much 5th Doctor stories, but I've watched a few, and yeah, he's really great. Number 9. Jubilee. The 6th Doctor and Evelyn end up in an alternate timeline, but the Daleks invaded England in 1903. 100 years later, the English people celebrate by trying to blow up a tortured Dalek. What's funny is that Robert Sherman actually wrote this. And for those who don't know, for the 2005 revival season, he wrote the episode Dalek, which perfectly reintroduced the Daleks for old fans and introduced them for newer fans. And it pretty much has the same sort of concept, and it is very intense. But in terms of what I like better, and what I think is scarier, it's really hard to say, but pretty much, it's funny that Colin Baker originally wanted an outfit similar to Christopher Eccleston's. Well, pretty much, they do feel like the same sort of Doctor, and this story is just really great. It's literally just the same thing, but with a bit more meta British commentary. So, well done everybody. Number 8. Doctor Who and the Pirates, or The Last That Lost a Sailor. Evelyn visits her student, Sally, and tells her of her recent adventure with the 6th Doctor and the Red Jasper. Not only did I have a lot of fun with this one, like I did with the 1 Doctor, but it's also very meaningful. It's not just, a silly pirate adventure, it also has a very serious message on grief and how to deal with things. And, yeah, it's so fun. Plus that song with Colin Baker is absolutely incredible. It sucks that that's the only song from this audio drama that has been released. Can't really find, the soundtrack or other songs, but they're really great, and it's really worth the listen. I strongly recommend it. Why was this not made a musical, though? Number 7. Bang Bang a Boom. The Seventh Doctor and Mel pose as the new crew members of a space exploration crew overseeing an intergalactic song competition. Spoons out! Straight on this list after Doctor Who and the Pirates, and straight off the bandwagon of the One Doctor, this is another comedic satire of sci-fi. And also, it's funny that the last one was a huge Doctor Who parody. This is a massive Star Trek parody, and it's absolutely hilarious. The Doctor is just whizzing it up. It's like rizzing it up. But yeah, he is a wizard, canonically. And Mel's just on this fun mystery. All the characters are hilarious. All the characters are fun. And this is just mwah, gorgeous story. It's so much fun. It's a shame that all the other stories on this list are pretty dark, but hey, they're still good. This one is just a classic. Number 6. The Holy Terror. A reluctant young emperor, Pippin, must accept the role of both king and a new god, with the Sixth Doctor and Frobisher ending up in the middle of it. That's right, he's a penguin. Google it. I don't think there's anything more I can say about it. I just really don't want to spoil it. It's an absolutely gorgeous story. What else can you say but, all hail Frobisher! All hail the big tucking bird! All hail Frobisher! All hail the big tucking bird! All hail Frobisher! All hail the big talking bird! All hail Frobisher! All hail the big talking bird! All hail Frobisher! All hail the big talking bird! All hail Frobisher! All hail the big talking bird! All hail Frobisher! All hail the big talking bird! All hail Frobisher! Number 5. Lou Guru. The Fifth Doctor and Turlough end up in a carnival in Rio in the future, having to help the owners, a tribe of werewolves on the run from a dangerous member of their kind. We saw the Seventh Doctor rizzing it up with the Princess, and the Sixth Doctor rizzing it up with Sally Ann. And I got the Fifth Doctor rizzing it up with Eleanor Braun. And she's a werewolf. Like, this is possibly one of, if not my favorite werewolf stories, not just in Doctor Who. And all the characters are great as usual, and I think Mark Strickland as Turlough really does deserve more credit, and this is possibly my favorite Peter Davison story. The others are really great too, and rivaled only by Caves Avengers Arnie and Kinda. But this is an absolute masterpiece of a story. It's gripping, it's deep, it's romantic, it's action-packed. What else can you say but, ooh, werewolves, London. Yeah, I know it's Rio. Oh, and while we're on the subject of dogs, Fido, I love you. Number 4. Davros. When the creator of the Daleks is resurrected, he must team up the Doctor to save the galaxy. This story everyone and their grandma talks about, and really shows the true meaning of this character and Terry Malloy's performance of it. I mean, he was the first person to take up this role and add a lot of oomph to it since Michael Wisher. We don't talk about David Goodison. But this goes to show that you can have a great Davros story without Daleks, and that's awesome. I haven't seen a Davros story this complex since Genesis, and that also barely had any Daleks. It was called Genesis of the Daleks. This is absolutely awesome. Plus, we have some of the original 60s casts, so that's really cool. So, and by far, this is probably Colin Baker's absolute best. Though I do have a high respect for the others. They're also my favorites. So, it's just so good! Number 3. Master. Dr. John Smith shouldn't remember that he is the Master. Like the Holy Terror, I don't really want to spoil this one. But, can I just say, this is some of the best writing I've ever heard. And I'd love to do this in a stage play as well, as Doctor and the Pirates. I mean, this is just one of the most psychologically diverting and emotionally driven stories I've ever heard. And this adds a lot of complexity to the Doctor as well. and I haven't heard anything about it, like reviews or anything, but I really recommend you give a listen. And Jeffrey Davis, despite being the master in literally one episode, and it being a boring episode, I honestly am surprised. Sorry, I have something in my eye! But honestly, yeah, this is Sylvester McCoy's best. Hands down.
Number 2. Embrace the darkness. The 8th Doctor and Charlie must save a space crew trapped in darkness with unknown aliens.
Oh yeah, you think I forgot about Paul? Yeah, look at the video. I was probably gonna mention it. So, but I think it goes without saying, is Colin and Sylvester and Peter all had their chances to shine, so did Paul McGann. Despite the Doctor Who books going on at the same time, this gave him a sort of error. And there's only like one story that I thought was really great, so that's why I put it for number 1. But for number 2, it was really hard since, there's a lot of great ones. Sword of Orion is a good Cybermen story. Stones of Venice is very, it's a bit of an art piece, really good too. Inuit in Hell I had a lot of fun with. Satan in the Brig. Invaders from Mars was a lot of fun. Season of Fear wasn't that bad. Time of the Daleks didn't actually thrill me. And Neverland was gorgeous. And so was Sir Grass. It was really wacky. But I gave it to Embrace the Darkness because of one particular thing. Like I said, I don't really want to spoil it, but there was an episode, Lost in Space, that was very similar. And if you know that episode, which I forgot the name of, and if you listen to this audio drama, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just really great.
And the number 1 Big Fish audio drama is The Chimes of Midnight. The 8th Doctor and Charlie end up in an Edwardian house where a maid has been murdered. To make matters worse, the entire house is trapped in a time loop.
Next to Davros, everyone and their grandmother thinks this is possibly the best Doctor Who classic audio drama. And I agree. It's also a really good Christmas special and murder mystery. So, I feel like Paul McGann as a Doctor has a lot of depth, and his stories are just close to perfect, in my opinion. So, and that was my list. Thank you for joining me, and even though it's been a wild ride, listening to these audio dramas with a bit of continuity error here and there, still, it's something I hold very dear. Plus, I did create an actual playlist of these audio dramas on Spotify. I'll try to send a link to the description below, and have a listen. Tell me what you think in the comments. And hopefully this video was good. I know it's been a while, but I'm not going to open that can of worms. But I just wanted to do something I wanted to do for a while with my new friends. So, thanks for everybody. See you in the time vortex. Did someone say continuity error? What is happening? Is this the tone of the show now?